if our 5 years, and this is relatively new reporting, so if you're not familiar, I won't blame you, but it appears that we had our CIA or some sort of DoD type people that were responsible for training the Ukrainian military over the prior 5 years leading into Russia's invasion. We now have funds that are being sent to Ukraine by the boatload, billions of them. We also have weaponry that's being sent to them. So we've trained, we've funded, we've armed. Is this what our founders envisioned when it came to not having entangling alliances?
Well, absolutely not. I mean, there's no provision for this under the Constitution. I've been arguing since I was in high school that foreign aid is unconstitutional, that the federal government does not have the right to take tax dollars, or today they don't have any tax dollars to spend, they just borrow it, or take borrowed dollars and give it away to a foreign government, which is effectively bribing the head of the government or whoever receives it. All of that is unconstitutional. The foreign entanglements are unconstitutional because they commit American assets and the blood and flesh of young American men and women to these crazy foreign entanglements. Look, I can't stand Putin, and I condemn what's going on, but we're making it worse. We are prolonging the inevitable. We are causing the deaths of tens of thousands who'd still be alive if Putin had just marched in there and the country had become neutral.
Right. It's really tragic. And I wanted to ask one quick follow-up on that. It seems as if what we've already done, in my opinion, could be viewed, and if it were being done to America, it would be viewed as an act of war in terms of funding, arming, and training enemy combatants to some other empire in Russia. And yet it seems as if, there's a chance that we get dragged into World War III and a hot conflict with a nuclear Russia without Congress ever having even declared war. Is that a possibility?
It's not only a possibility, it's hoped for by many of the globalists in the State Department and their buddies in the European foreign ministries. I mean, Jake Sullivan, who's the president's national security advisor, refined what the president said. When the president said, this guy doesn't deserve to be in power and he should go, Jake said, we want a diminished Russia. Well, a diminished Russia means a country that we have ousted the government from. And the only way that can happen with violence is with violence. Right. I think we are a hair trigger away from World War III. I think if some Russian tank commander misreads his GPS and sends 10 tanks toward Poland, and they destroy American military equipment and maybe the American trainers that are right there, NATO will pounce. NATO's weak. We are the only ones there that could defeat the Russians. Do we really, really want this? There's no will for this whatsoever. I honestly think old Joe doesn't have the will for it, but I believe the people around him would like to see this happen. It's their opportunity to get Putin before the International Criminal Court. Oh, and to teach the Russians about democracy. We're so good at spreading democracy. Iraq, how did that work? Libya, how did that work? Syria, how did that work? Yemen, how did that work? But the globalists, they just won't stop.
Yeah. Well, and we have a sitting senator in Lindsey Graham that's talking about, well, if we're not going to topple Putin, then it's up to the Russian people to do it. I mean, we're basically asking for a coup or demanding a coup. Otherwise, America will make it happen. I mean, this is unbelievably dangerous.
Senator Graham loves blood as long as it's not his own.
Well, I think that's the definition of a chicken hawk, and I have no qualms about calling him that. Well, thank you so much for coming on again, Judge Andrew Napolitano, everybody.